The call came at 3:07 a.m. My father's voice hissed through the phone. "Your apartment building is on fire. Hope you've got insurance." I laughed. Quiet, cold. He froze on the line. "Why are you laughing at a tragedy?" he asked, almost offended. "Because, Dad," I whispered, "that building wasn't just my home. Fathers are supposed to protect. Mine learned how to destroy. He wasn't always like that. Or maybe he was, and I was too blind to see it. When I was little, he taught me how to ride a bike. He clapped when I balanced, swore I'd be stronger than him someday. I believed him. I thought he was my anchor. But anchors rust, and some drag you straight to the bottom. When my mother left, he snapped. Booze, gambling, bad debts. I became his collateral. By 16, I was the one paying bills, working nights while he fed his addictions. He said he'd pay me back. He never did. The first time he stole from me, I forgave him. The second time, I pretended not to notice. The third time, I understood. My father wasn't a man anymore. He was a parasite. And parasites don't stop until you burn them off. The fire didn't surprise me. I'd seen the signs. His sudden concern about my renter's insurance. The way he asked about my lease documents. The night I caught him pacing in the parking lot, pretending he was just in the neighborhood. And then an overheard phone call. His voice low, urgent. "Yeah, the place is insured. Just make it look like an accident." That's when I knew. He was willing to torch my life, literally, for a payout. But I didn't panic. I didn't confront him. I planned. Step 1, I moved. Quietly. Weeks before the fire, I packed my things. I signed a new lease under a different name across town. My old apartment, I left it staged. A few cheap clothes in the closet, a second-hand couch, just enough to make it look lived in. Step 2, I called the insurance company. Told them about the suspicious questions my father had been asking. They opened a file. Fraud division. They were very interested. Step 3, I met with a lawyer. Drew up paperwork transferring ownership of certain assets, ones my father thought I still held, into protected accounts, just in case he got greedy in other ways. Step 4, I waited. The night of the fire, I was already awake, sitting by the window of my new place, watching smoke rise miles away. When he called, he expected shock, panic, maybe tears. What he heard instead was laughter. "Why are you laughing at a tragedy?" he asked. "Because, Dad," I said slowly, savoring the words, "that building wasn't just my home. It was bait." Silence. Then his breath quickened. "What are you talking about?" I leaned back, calm as ice. "I moved weeks ago. The only thing you torched tonight was evidence. And insurance fraud investigators love evidence." He cursed, shouted, called me a liar. But the tremor in his voice betrayed him. He already knew I was 2 steps ahead. I let him rant. Then I cut him off with a whisper. "They recorded your call, Dad. The one where you hired someone to light the match. By morning, you'll be a suspect, not a beneficiary." The next day, it began. Investigators, detectives, insurance reps with clipboards. My father's name on every report. He tried to play dumb, but the trail was too neat. His phone records, his deaths, witnesses who'd seen him lurking around the building. the burner account he'd used to pay the arsonist. Piece by piece, it collapsed, and I didn't have to lift a finger. The fire consumed him without touching me. Weeks later, I saw him again. Courtroom, orange jumpsuit, hands cuffed. He looked at me across the aisle, searching for pity, maybe forgiveness. All I gave him was the same silence he gave me when I was 16 and begging him not to pawn my future. The judge read the sentence: arson, insurance fraud, conspiracy. Years behind bars. My father flinched with every word. I sat still, steady, breathing in his downfall. When they let him away, his eyes met mine one last time. I smiled. Not cruel, just final. People ask if I miss him, if I regret it. The truth? I mourned my father years ago, the day he chose greed over blood. What stood in that courtroom wasn't my father. It was a man who burned everything he touched. The fire he set was supposed to ruin me. Instead, it revealed him. Now I live in my new apartment. Small, quiet, paid for with my own money. No shadows on the walls. No footsteps I can't trust. Sometimes, late at night, I replay that call in my head. His voice smug and certain. My laughter cutting through it. That was the moment I knew the power had shifted. The parasite was gone. The anchor had sunk, and I was free.